Ancient Egypt, a land of pharaohs where the sun god Ra reigned supreme and the Nile River was the lifeblood of the civilization. This was a world of grandeur and mystery, where monumental pyramids touched the sky and the sands whispered secrets of the past. Powerful kings ruled for thousands of years, their reigns marked by immense power and divine authority. These kings were not just rulers, they were seen as gods on earth, bridging the mortal world and the divine. But one woman dared to be different. Her name was Hatshepsut. In a time when women were expected to remain in the shadows, she stepped into the light, challenging the norms and rewriting the rules. She became a pharaoh, a king, in her own right. This is her story, a story of courage, determination, and an unyielding spirit that defied the conventions of her time. Hatshepsut's story takes us back to a time when Egypt was a powerful empire, a land of prosperity and innovation. The bustling markets, the grand temples, and the vibrant cityscapes were all part of her world. The pharaoh was the most important person in the kingdom, a figure of immense influence and reverence. They were the ultimate authority, the one who made decisions that shaped the destiny of the nation. They were considered to be a god on earth, a living deity who commanded both fear and respect. The people worshipped them, believing that the pharaoh's favor could bring prosperity and their wrath could bring disaster. No woman had ever ruled Egypt alone before Hatshepsut. She broke tradition, donning the royal regalia, and taking on the full powers of a pharaoh. Her reign was a bold statement that challenged the status quo. Her rise to power and her reign were extraordinary. She navigated the treacherous waters of politics and power with skill and intelligence, earning the respect of her subjects and the admiration of future generations. Hatshepsut's story is about more than just being a woman in a man's world. It's about leadership, vision, and the ability to inspire and lead a nation. She made strategic decisions that strengthened Egypt and left a lasting legacy. It's about leadership, ambition, and the desire to leave a lasting mark on the world. Hatshepsut oversaw grand construction projects, including her famous mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, which stands as a testament to her vision and ambition. Her story reminds us that even in ancient times, women could achieve great things. Hatshepsut's legacy continues to inspire, showing that with determination and vision, one can overcome any obstacle and leave an indelible mark on history. Hatshepsut was born into royalty. Her father was Thutmose I, a powerful pharaoh. Her mother was Queen Amos. Hatshepsut grew up in the royal palace. She received the best education possible. We know that Hatshepsut learned to read and write. This was unusual for women at the time. She studied religion, history, and politics. She learned about the gods and goddesses of Egypt. She learned about her ancestors, the pharaohs who came before her. As a princess, Hatshepsut would have had a privileged upbringing, but she was also a keen observer. She learned how power worked in the royal court. Little did she know that she would one day rule Egypt herself. Hatshepsut married her half-brother, Thutmose II. This union was not unusual for the time, as marriages within the royal family were often arranged to preserve the purity of the bloodline and consolidate power within the dynasty. The marriage was a strategic alliance ensuring that Hatshepsut would be closely tied to the throne. This was common among royalty. Such unions were seen as a way to maintain the divine nature of the pharaohs, who were considered gods on earth. By marrying within the family, they believed they were preserving their sacred lineage. When Thutmose II became pharaoh, Hatshepsut became his queen. As queen, she played a significant role in the royal court, advising her husband and participating in state affairs. Her influence was substantial, even in the early years of their reign. They had one daughter, Nefertiti. Nefertiti was groomed for a prominent role in the kingdom, often depicted in royal inscriptions and monuments alongside her mother. Hatshepsut ensured that her daughter received an education befitting a future leader. Thutmose II also had a son, Thutmose III, with another wife. This son was the heir to the throne, but his youth at the time of his father's death would lead to significant changes in the kingdom's power dynamics. When Thutmose II died, Thutmose III was still a young boy. His youth meant he was not ready to rule, and the kingdom needed a strong leader to guide it through this transitional period. Hatshepsut became regent, ruling for her stepson. As regent, she was expected to manage the affairs of the state until Thutmose III came of age. However, Hatshepsut's ambitions extended far beyond the traditional role of a regent. At first she ruled as expected. She maintained the kingdom's stability, managed its resources, and upheld its traditions. Her leadership was marked by a period of peace and prosperity. She used the title of God's wife, a traditional role for royal women. This title gave her religious authority and reinforced her position within the royal hierarchy. It was a respected and influential role, but Hatshepsut aspired to more. But Hatshepsut had bigger plans. She was not content with merely being a regent or a queen. Her vision for Egypt and her own legacy was far more ambitious. She wanted to be pharaoh in her own right. This was an unprecedented move for a woman in ancient Egypt, but Hatshepsut was determined to break the norms and assert her authority. In a bold move, she declared herself king. She adopted the full regalia and titles of a pharaoh, including the false beard and the traditional male attire, to legitimize her rule. She took on the title of King Mortuary Hatshepsut. This title symbolized her divine right to rule and her commitment to maintaining Ma'at, the ancient Egyptian concept of truth, balance, and order. She would rule Egypt for the next 2 decades. Her reign was marked by monumental building projects, successful military campaigns, and a flourishing of the arts. Hatshepsut's legacy as one of Egypt's most successful pharaohs endures to this day. Hatshepsut was a powerful and effective ruler. She focused on peace and prosperity. She ordered the construction of many temples and monuments. These buildings showcased Egypt's wealth and power. One of her most impressive projects was the temple at Deir el-Bahri. It was a masterpiece of ancient Egyptian architecture. Hatshepsut also sent trading expeditions to far-off lands. She brought back exotic goods, such as incense. She brought back exotic goods, such as ebony. She brought back exotic goods, such as ivory. Under Hatshepsut's reign, Egypt flourished. She expanded trade, built impressive monuments, and maintained peace. Her reign was a time of great prosperity for Egypt. Hatshepsut's reign was unusual. She was one of the few female pharaohs in ancient Egypt, a society where leadership was predominantly male. Her reign marked a significant departure from tradition, and she took extraordinary measures to solidify her position as a ruler. Not only was she a female pharaoh, but she also chose to be depicted as a man. This decision was not merely a superficial change, it was a calculated move to assert her authority and legitimacy. In statues and paintings, she wore the traditional kilt and headdress of a male king. These were not just any garments, they were symbols of power and divine right, worn by her male predecessors for centuries. She even had herself depicted with a false beard. The false beard was a quintessential symbol of pharaonic power, often associated with gods and male rulers. By adopting this symbol, Hatshepsut was making a bold statement about her role and authority. Why did Hatshepsut choose to do this? The reasons are still debated among historians and scholars. Some believe it was a strategic move to navigate the patriarchal structures of ancient Egyptian society. Some scholars believe it was a way to assert her authority in a society dominated by men. By presenting herself as a male king, she could command the same respect and obedience that her male counterparts did. By taking on the appearance of a male king, she may have felt she would be taken more seriously. This was crucial for maintaining stability and ensuring her decrees were followed without question. Others believe that Hatshepsut's male portrayal was more symbolic. It wasn't just about power, it was about aligning herself with the divine and the eternal. They argue that she was aligning herself with the god Horus, who was often depicted as a falcon or a man. By doing so, she was not only claiming earthly power, but also divine favor and protection. Whatever the reason, Hatshepsut's choice to be depicted as a male king remains one of the most intriguing aspects of her reign. It challenges our understanding of gender and power in ancient Egypt and continues to captivate historians and enthusiasts alike. After more than 20 years in power, Hatshepsut vanished from history. Her reign simply ended. Her name was erased from monuments. Her statues were destroyed. What happened to Hatshepsut is still a mystery. Some historians believe that Thutmose III, her stepson, may have seized power after her death. He may have resented her long reign and sought to erase her memory. Others suggest that her disappearance was due to natural causes. The mystery surrounding Hatshepsut's disappearance adds to her enigmatic legacy. Did she die peacefully? Was she overthrown? We may never know the full story, but her disappearance is a reminder of the fragile nature of power. For centuries, Hatshepsut was almost forgotten. Her story was lost to time. But in the 19th century, archaeologists began to uncover evidence of her reign. They found her name on monuments and in ancient texts. Slowly but surely, Hatshepsut's story was pieced back together. Today, she is recognized as one of Egypt's most successful pharaohs. Her reign was a time of peace, prosperity, and great architectural achievements. Hatshepsut's story is an inspiration. She defied expectations and became one of the most powerful women in the ancient world. Her legacy continues to fascinate and inspire us today. Imagine Hatshepsut's story told through the magic of claymation. Picture the bustling marketplace of Thebes filled with clay characters. See Hatshepsut, the young princess, observing the world with curious eyes. Imagine the grand temple at Deir el-Bahari, brought to life in miniature. Watch as tiny clay workers haul stones and carve intricate hieroglyphs. Feel the awe and wonder of ancient Egypt in a whole new way. Claymation, with its charming simplicity, can capture the essence of Hatshepsut's story. It can transport us back in time, allowing us to experience ancient Egypt in a fun and engaging way. Hatshepsut's story is one of ambition, leadership, and mystery. She broke barriers and left an indelible mark on ancient Egypt. Her reign, though shrouded in enigma, stands as a testament to her strength and vision. As we continue to learn more about Hatshepsut, we gain a deeper appreciation for her remarkable life and legacy. She reminds us that the past is full of surprises and that women have always been capable of achieving greatness. Hatshepsut's story, whether told through history books or brought to life in claymation, continues to captivate our imaginations. She is a reminder that the past is not so different from the present, and that the human desire for power and legacy transcends time.